Coming to you live from Farmer Dave's World Headquarters here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Cassie.
And I'm Stacey.
And we're here to help you
prepare your share. Blueberries. I've been in a lifelong love affair with blueberries.
Does Bill know?
My childhood summers was spent throughout Maine, camping or at the beach. We would pass blueberry farm after blueberry farm on our rides. On many days, we were spending out there picking blueberries. I became a very efficient blueberry picker, and my lips and fingertips always seemed to be tinged blue. I have a question for you. What are Rika, Duke, Patriot, Jersey, Chandler, Liberty, and Aurora?
Animals you're planning on adopting from the shelter?
No!
They are varieties of blueberries grown at Farmer Dave's.
Having so many varieties of blueberries extends the harvest, so those berries can be enjoyed for a longer period of time.
Fast forward to today, and I still get my blueberry fix every day. How, you ask?
Blueberries are one of the easiest fruit to freeze and keep so well over the winter. If you have space in your freezer, place them on a sheet tray to freeze, then place the frozen berries in freezer bags, suck the air out. Do not freeze the berries wet. If you must, give the frozen berries a quick rinse before using.
Short on time, just bag them up, remove the extra air. Usually a good jiggle on the bag will keep the berries from becoming permanently bonded to each other. If you want to make jam, blueberry bread, and life just got away from you, freeze the berries. Jams, pies, galettes, tarts, and breads and muffins easily adapt to the frozen berry.
Recipes that we have covered previously in the strawberry and jam vegisodes work wonderfully here. We have blueberry and lemon zest jam, which Stacey and I have already sampled a little bit.
Yeah.
Blueberry, lemon, and thyme galette, and a blueberry crisp.
Of course, there are smoothies, and a twist to your refrigerator oatmeal is quinoa. Breakfast quinoa mixes cooked and cooled quinoa, almond milk, blueberries, honey, and we have a little bit of cinnamon on top. This is a great protein power punch that could also be warmed up in the cooler months.
Blueberries add a refreshing pop to a veggie salad or a grain salad such as pearl barley, quinoa, or rice, and there is fruit salad paired with all the other luscious seasonal fruit.
Has anybody out there picked up our love for cheese? In true Vegisode fashion, we have a grilled cheese with blueberries, a pizza with blueberries. Strange sounding, I realize, but it was a result of late night experimenting. For the grilled cheese, choose your favorite bread, butter, and cheese. I love the combination of blueberries with Gouda, Monterey Jack, or pepper cheese. Just be sure to have a cheese slice on either side of the blueberry layer. This will ensure that the blueberries will stay put. We have one ready for you. Ta-da. Actually, we have two ready for you, and the reason we have two ready for you is, well, we get hungry. And this,
Oh, look how beautiful that is
what it looks like. The blueberries get really warm, and some of them pop, some of them don't, but it just adds a nice little acid hit and a sweet hit.
Cheers.
Here we go. You tell me that wasn't a good idea.
Some great thoughts are born in late at night.
Okay, we'll finish eating that later. Next up,
Pizza. This roll or package of dough is your blank canvas. A slice of this pizza with a salad or sliced cukes and tomatoes, and dinner is done. Keep in mind, there's always the option to grill your pizza.
this time we have a blueberry and honey caramelized onion pizza. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Roll your pizza dough out on a sheet tray, sprayed with cooking spray or covered with parchment. Bake the dough for about a third of the total cooking time.
Here we have 2 large onions cut very thinly. They were cooked low and slow in butter and olive oil until golden. And if you would like some spice, add a pinch of red pepper flake while they're cooking down. Then the last few minutes, add a couple tablespoons of honey.
Mix 2 cups of ricotta, I like whole milk with this, and 1 cup of grated Gouda or sharp cheddar. We used sharp cheddar. Spread this mixture on partially cooked dough. Add the honey caramelized onions, which I will do now. There we go. Just want to make sure this is nice and even. And the reason we have those little golden bits that are darker, that is the honey that caramelized in the saute pan. because the sugars and the honey started to toast a little bit more. Here we go.
We don't mind that at all.
Nope. It's that nice little bite of sweetness.
All right, and you're gonna
because I'm the red pepper flake girl, I'm throwing this out there, and she passed it to me. On my little piece of pizza, I'm putting a little red pepper flake. I'm gonna do it on this half, and that half will not have red pepper flake.
Perfect, thanks, Stace. You're gonna be adding your blueberries. And then if you like a little bit more pepper without too much heat, you can give a few turns of the pepper grinder.
Another addition to this is fresh sage. Just roll it up, cut it very finely, and give that a sprinkle. A little bit of sage goes a long way on this, but it does add just that little bit of earthiness since you do have a little bit of sweet going on here. Oh, that looks great. All right.
Pop this back in the oven. The crust will get golden, the cheese will be melty, and the blueberries will start giving off their juice. And through the magic of television, we have a prepared pizza. Take a look at that melty cheese. The onions have gotten a little bit more caramelized from the oven. The blueberries have burst, the juices are flowing. It is just this amalgamation of deliciousness.
Oh, amalgamation. That's like a 75-cent word.
75-cent word.
That's not bad for the end of the day. Oh, here we go.
I wish you were playing Veggie Scrabble.
Thank you for holding that. It's sliding everywhere.
Thank you for cutting.
All right, here we go. Hopefully not burn our mouths.
Not this time.
Okay, cheers. Those onions are so good. The blueberries. I like the cheddar with the blueberries. I think that was a really, really good choice.
And it's not too sweet. It's not going to be overwhelming. This is a great savory recipe. So if you think this is a dessert pizza, this is definitely something you want to have for dinner.
Awesome. Please try this one.
Now for more savory recipes with blueberries, the tale of two sauces. The first is a blueberry balsamic that is delicious on grilled chicken, steak tips, swordfish, salmon, tofu, as well as grilled squash and eggplant slices. It also adds a nice lift as an add-in to a pearl barley salad with scallions, cherry tomatoes, and peppers.
In a medium saucepan, melt 1 tablespoon of butter, add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a medium onion in a small dice. You're going to cook this for 4 to 5 minutes until it's golden. Then add 2 cups of blueberries, stir, cook for about 2 minutes.
You'll stir in a half a cup of maple syrup, half a cup of balsamic vinegar, and 2 tablespoons combined of chopped fresh oregano and rosemary. If fresh is not available, half of the amount of a dried Italian seasoning will work. Let this mixture simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes or until thickened.
And this jar is exactly what is in there. It's nice and thick, and it looks like it would be sweet with the amount of sugar, but it actually isn't. That balsamic vinegar gives it a little bit of a bite. Try this one. Now, the second sauce. Moving all the goods over for this one. The second sauce is my blueberry, sriracha, and honey barbecue sauce, which I have gifted many times, but I have never given out the recipe. Today, the cat is out of the bag. Now, don't let the spicy sound of this mixture scare you off. There's a base recipe, then the sriracha and the honey are added after the fact. Another variation, if you want a little something besides spicy, is adding grated fresh ginger or minced crystallized ginger. Now, the ingredient list is a bit long, but please stay with me. This recipe will make approximately 3 half pints of sauce, which can be canned or frozen. Now, we have a really big jar here because we ran out of the small ones, so that will last you a long, long time. Now, if you have frozen berries this winter, this sauce is a great one to make that, because those berries in January and February are going to taste so good, and I don't know about you, but in New England, we grill year-round. It will also be linked to this Vegisode, so no frantic writing needed for this recipe.
Ready? Here we go. In a medium saucepan, add 2 tablespoonfuls of olive oil, half a cup of minced onion, and 4 cloves of minced garlic, and saute over medium to medium-high heat until the onions are golden. Add in all the spices, 1 teaspoon each of red pepper flake, fresh ground black pepper, salt, smoked paprika or regular paprika, dry mustard and chili powder, and half a teaspoon each of cardamom and cumin. Stir to combine and let the spices toast for 2 to 3 minutes. Just don't burn them.
Add the following and stir after each addition. I have here a half a cup of apple cider vinegar and ketchup or tomato paste and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That will go in the pan. Then you're going to add 3 to 3.5 cups approximately of blueberries. Bring the mixture to a boil, then lower to a simmer and keep stirring. Simmer about 15 to 20 minutes. I say keep stirring. There's a lot of sugar in this, and if you walk away for even 2 or 3 minutes, it's going to adhere to the bottom of your pan. As the berries soften, press against them with a wooden spoon to crush them. At this point, you can stir in 1/8 cup of Sriracha if you wish. This is spicy. Dial it back if you want to, or leave it out. It does make 3 jars or 1 big jar, so that spice kind of gets spread out a little. Also 1/8 cup of honey and mix it well. If you're thinking of canning this, I would leave the honey out and stir it in before using. The honey makes it very sticky, and if you're grilling with it, it can cause things to burn, so depending on how you're going to use the sauce later on, you could just leave it out and then add it in.
Once the sauce is thick, cool it and refrigerate it or freeze, either in a freezer bag or a canning jar. If you're freezing in a canning jar, 1, make sure the canning jar is freezer safe and wide mouth. 2, do not freeze with the lid on. Doing this will decrease the chances of jar breakage.
If we've piqued your interest in canning with our jam Vegisode, this barbecue sauce is even simpler. Once the recipe is cooked, you can cool and store it for a couple of days in the refrigerator, then can it on another day. The day that you preserve, prep your canner jars and canner pot while your sauce is coming to a low simmer. Now that this has set in the refrigerator, it may need a little thinning with a bit of apple cider vinegar. Start with about 1/8 cup and mix. You want it thick but pourable.
Once your jars are hot, for one recipe, I would prep 4 half-pint jars, just in case you have a little bit extra. Use the funnel and ladle, fill your jars, leaving 1/2 inch of headspace. Remove the air bubbles. Wipe down those rims to ensure a good seal. Add the lids and bands, tighten to fingertip tight.
Follow standard canning instructions and process this barbecue sauce for 15 minutes in the canner. Let the jars sit on a towel off to the side once they're removed from the canner, undisturbed. Then check your seals. Any that did not seal can be reprocessed or popped in the refrigerator to use. Both of these sauces make great food gifts as well. So be sure to pick up some blueberries for now
And later.
and that's a wrap.